Good morning. I want to speak to you this morning about, well, coming into the light of day. You have to understand what that means. A lot of people uh, don't understand what coming into the light of day means. So I would give you very sharp um contentions as to my argument. Coming into the light of day meant that King Alfred of England, way, way, way back in the days, brought his land into one people. God. France followed suit. Spain followed suit. Portugal followed suit. They, instead of the little bitty tribes all around the Visigoths they turned into the Italians. And then they turned into a city of Rome. And then Rome turned into Italy. Greece. If you watch the movie Troy, there was a whole bunch of tribes. And then they came into one. Even though they glorified the king that lost Troy. You know, the other king won. He got killed in the movie, but not in history. You should read history. That's another subject. I want to talk to you about when we study history. We read all these books written by African Americans that give their depiction of history. But I believe in fiction when I read because that's someone's imagination at work. You see what I'm saying? When a person is writing something, that's his imagination or her imagination at work. She could be writing a biography, but imagination is always at play. So I don't go on what somebody done read. I study the history of war. What country took what? What tribe took what? How did it form? That was a long fight England had to bring England into one. That was a nice long fight. You had all type of tribes in there. The Britannian people. All types of crazy tribes, all type of crazy names. It was a lot of them. And the Saxons and the Anglos was in there too. And they were just all in there. And hey, that was a great idea. What happened to Africa? Well, Alexander the Great attacked Egypt. Once he attacked the stronghold of Africa, she was broke. He didn't have to come down to Ethiopia or go all the way around to Kenya, all the way back up through there. He didn't have to march his, because Egypt was the stronghold. Bam, he took that. And then let his counselor become Pharaoh. Not Alexander the Great, he got poisoned. He gave his counselor, his friend, Egypt. He walks in with a military. Hey, I'm the man now. Sign it over or we just going to chop everybody's head off. Well, okay then. We're going to sign it over to you. Yeah, this guy here, Ptolemy the First, was a Snow White man. A god of Egypt. That brought down Egypt's civilization. There's a white man with a background who thinks Zeus is God. Sitting in the house of Pharaoh. That's what you have to understand. The military action. Damn, that's fucked up when you think about Egypt. The greatness of her. Now there's a white man called God, and last name was Christ. I ain't gonna get into that though. But hey, he sat there. And then he brought along Ptolemy the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, and then Cleopatra, who tore up everything. Who all these black women think is black, but she is a white girl. She was a Greek. Let it all fall down under Rome. And the reason why we don't know our history is because Caesar burnt the great library. That's why we don't have our recorded history before the transatlantic slave trade. Egypt had it. Not Timbuktu. Egypt. And Caesar burnt the library. Remember? Read your history. All our history was in there. The transatlantic slave trade was coming. You see, we was all brought down after Egypt. Everybody got to scrambling around for food. Everybody got to scrambling around for territory. What's going on? Then you had Danish come walking in, and you had other kings that come walking in. I mean, they used to chop off the arms of Africans for, yeah. And you pick up a leaf off the ground, yep, bang. I mean, it was horrible for them. When these armies first came here with this iron, because we wasn't fighting with iron, we were just fighting with wood. All these folk, they come with iron and swords and shields and animals and under their control. You know, they got horses under their control. We didn't know nothing about that. We running in the field fighting, fist fight for a little while. You know, hey, you know, your guy lost to my guy. Drag him on over here and let him work for 7 years. That's what we did. Well, they didn't. They kill you. You was no more. They stab you until you was dead. What the hell is this? Once they realized that we was afraid of them, hey man, we don't want no problems like this. We ain't got no iron to fight you back. Oh, okay. Well, you know, this is what's finna happen right here. This paperwork right here. This is what's popular in my country. These are the most important things in my country. Okay, we're going to make them important here. All right. Okay, what you want us to do? Well, we need them. Transatlantic slave trade was opening up. Before that was happening, though, the Arabics had already had us in slavery for 1,500 years. Let's don't forget about that. I just wanted to open this up this morning. We're going to do this a lot now. I'm going to do it right here on Google+. I know I'm going to take up a lot of morning time, but I'm going to do this a lot. We're going to get into some real history and how we got here. And all you have to do is, like I said, follow the wars. We're going to follow how Rome came into one. We're going to study how Greece came into one, how Egypt came into one, how Carthage came into one, and how great that empire was, and how much they don't talk about it because of Hannibal, the greatest general who ever lived. And he was as black as me, hair as nappy as mine. But they don't want to speak about him really until you get deep into conversations. You know, he did the impossible. What no other army captain ever thought. He crossed the Alps. A lot of them died, but he crossed them Alps and marched on Rome. But Rome had a better idea. Hey, they came into the light of day. Light of day is something else, man. You know what I mean? I want to get to you about attire, war attire, what it means. You see what I'm saying? Now they don't wear breastplates of armor no more. They wear suits. You know, it's done changed now. You know, everything is different in the world. And you got to understand that it's the same game being played. This army against that army, standing against this army. Now they don't have to stand right on each other's border. Now they can be spying on each other from way over there. You see, but it's the same thing as a Navy sitting at your damn goddammit naval baseline. Hey, we here. It's the same thing. But they just have technology. They don't have to just be here. You have to understand that coming into the light of day is what the black African American or whatever they call themselves over here, they need to do. You need to come into the light of day. Real bad. And figure out what you is. Are you African American, or are you just African, or are you just American? Because whoever going to win this war right here is going to ask you. And if you don't give up the right answer with your goddamn head. You see what I'm saying? This shit is finna get real serious. You got a goddamn enemy spy vessel sitting right on your motherfucking border right now, 30 miles off your coastline. In international waters. History is now. We living in history. You know what I'm saying? It's wild how our people, they didn't give us up. They didn't just give us away. There was political means behind everybody that was walked out of there. There was a military movement a naval military movement to get people from one place to another over the water, navigated it. Who did that? Christopher Columbus. That's why they have a holiday for him. He navigated the slave passageway. He wrote it out and then gave it to Great Britain and Spain and Portugal. That's who he gave it to. And he sold it to them. And they navigated their way to Africa, all the way on the land to wherever tribe that they wanted to go to, back from out of Africa, walked out of there. I'm talking about miles inside of Africa. Walk back out of there with the slaves, get on their ship, probably go back to Portugal, and then set sail for the Caribbeans or the Americans or wherever the slaves were supposed to go. He navigated that route. And to the white man, that's great. If you think about it, he came into the light of day on something. Shit. Hey, man, my ancestors was caught up in that. For sure. But hey, that was smart. Why don't we think this way? Why do we always got the chess cat with the next race when we are not one? We don't even have a name. We African American. No, we not. There's no such thing as American. We're going to get into that. No such thing as it. God is not going to call you that. He's going to call you an African child if you black. He's going to call them an Anglo-Saxon if when he call them home. Hey, come on, little Saxon girl. That's what he's going to say. He's going to call you an African flower. Come here to me. And he's going to show you the way. And he's going to do away with the parasite. We'll get into that too. I'll show you what I mean by a parasite. Everything has a parasite. Everything. Including the human race. They have a parasite. It was made. Scientifically. Made to do away with the human race. That's what they do. Every time they get into existence. But, you see, you got to understand history and the wars that's fought. And what Hercules mean, you see. You got to learn what Zeus mean and who Horus is. And you see, you got to understand all of this mythology, what they call it, that myth stuff they got going on in Greece. You have to understand it. Egypt and them was going through this little religious thing. You see. That's why when the Greek came into power and Rome came into power, Constantine added the New Testament to the Bible. You see, in this great land, Egypt is named in the Bible. Egypt was all in the Bible. When the Greeks came into power, when the Romans came into power, they didn't have no God. Remember? They marched into the Holy Land without no God. It's getting good. You see, they walk right into the Holy Land. Hey, we ain't got no God, man, but hey, what's going on here? But if you ain't got no God, you ain't got no authority here. Okay, then we're going to take our army, take over this, but at the same time, we still want to know what a God is. You know what I'm saying? Well, God is this and that and that, and listen to us and how we pray. Okay, then. All right, write this down and send it back to Rome. We're going to make us a God. That's how it happened. Not in the ways that I'm saying. It was a little bit more involved. We can get into that too one day. See, I'm going to watch this over, and then I'm going to get into these subjects with you, my people. And we're going to find out what's really going on. And it's the wars that was fought. These are the things that was written down, that I read, and I have in my mind that I want to give to you, so that you will understand where your people come from and why we in the conditions that we in. You see, why we in this condition is because of what happened throughout history. The African was losing power because God took that power away. We'll get into that too. You see, the Lord took that power away, but I'll get into that with you. But back onto Rome, never had a God. They made one. It's easy as that. And he's named after another person that made himself a God. But we'll get into that too. But the same thing that's going on is that Rome came into the Holy Land. Hey, we don't know nothing about nothing. Well, okay then, we're going to make him God and say that he came back from blah, 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 blah. And this is what it's going to be. when the emperor said, I'm going to turn myself into a Christian, you know people are going to follow the emperor. So that's what he did. So the Catholic Church came about, and Peter got together with all these great priests and said, we're going to build our foundation right here. The Catholic Church fathered all Christianity churches. All the weird rules that they have came all the way from ancient time. Constantine says, hey, okay, then I'm going to make the first pope black, because I want to get rid of Aries down here that's telling me that Jesus Christ ain't God. You see, there was a black man that was from Morocco, a Carthage, that was saying, hey, look, man, ain't no God, ain't no man God. You tripping. And they got rid of him some kind of way. We don't know if it was poison, or we don't know what it was, but he came up dead like 8 months later. And they made the first black dude pope. And then turned around about 300 years later when all of them was dust in the ground. And then said, all right, we're going to write this decree and say that Jesus Christ is God, send it through the courts and say, bam, this is story, and we want it inside of that Bible that talks about Egypt all the time. These are the Greeks. So you get Corinthians, that's in Greece. You get Ephesians, that's in Greece. You know what I'm saying? You get Greece, mythological bullshit in the Bible. But I know you ain't sit through all of this right here, and I'm going to get on down. I'm just Pharaoh. Giving you a little bit of black history, man. We're going to figure this shit out, man. I promise. I get excited about it, man, because that's what we have. Listen and learn. But that's where it come from. We got a long way to go, baby. Peace out.